Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello people!
We're looking at trailer number 2 to Shikara, directed by Vidhu, Vinod, Chopra. This comes out February 7th, which is very, very soon.
Next week,
Looking forward to this. This has no subtitles, just so you guys know, so if there is a lot of dialogue in here, we won't be able to understand it. Whatever's visually obvious or, you know, physical...
Body language?
Body language. If there's body language that's obvious, then we'll understand that because we're good at, you know, interpreting that stuff. Specific dialogue we won't catch. I apologize in advance. Here we go.
पूरे श्रीनगर में हिट लिस्ट लग गई है।
तो जाना पड़ेगा यहाँ से इंडिया। अब तो बहुत लड़के जाने लगे हैं पाकिस्तान।
प्रोफेसर साहब आइए ना प्लीज।
निकल जा, कश्मीर हमारा
घर है यहाँ।
हिंदुस्तानी एजेंटों को हम गोली मार देते हैं।
कश्मीर की मौजूदा सूरत हाल को मद्देनजर रखते हुए कश्मीर के अलग अलग इलाकों में पंडित अभी भी हजारों की तादाद में जान बचाकर जम्मू की ओर रवाना हो रहे हैं।
They get separated?
बोलो कैसी हो? एक दिन तुमसे मिलने वापस आऊंगा। कुछ बरसों से टूट गया हूँ, खंडित हूँ। वादे तेरा बेटा हूँ मैं। पंडित हूँ। हमारे घर पे तुम्हारा कोई हक नहीं है, हमारे वतन पे तुम्हारा कोई हक नहीं है।
Wow.
Every time I watch one of their trailers, it's the same kind of feeling of, wow, that looks like a really harrowing,
Experience?
horrible experience.
Yeah.
That's always the thought and the feeling that runs through my system. Like, ugh. Like, how do you deal with? It's so frightening because I think, as at the risk of sounding sexist, like as a dude, as a man, your whole MO is like, how do I protect my boo? How do I like protect the self? How do we survive this? But like, you sort of take it upon yourself. I'm sure back then it was even more of a thing. Now it's a little bit. I kind of dug myself a hole just now, but whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, as the dude, you're trying to like figure out how to navigate this and protect your boo at the same time. And then when you get separated, it's even worse. And so there's a lot weighing on you. Not to say that the woman isn't holding any sort of responsibility herself. It's just as frightening for her. But I'm sort of projecting on, you know, my own feelings onto the dude, like what he's going through.
No, and I'm sure that must be it as well. And there's this desire to protect your family. Like if you have kids, if you're in that situation, you've got kids, you want to make sure everyone's okay. And the bit that I found really scary as well was when that woman, when the lead actress was on the bus, she's wearing the headscarf and stuff, and she has her bindi on, I think, and then she like very quickly like takes it off because that's a clear indication that, you know, she's not Muslim.
Sure.
And so she's in danger. And I felt that just in that small action where she's like, I gotta hide who I am. Like it's no longer safe to be who I am in the place that I've known my whole life. Like that's a very strange feeling and something that must be so difficult to wrestle with. And then being kicked out of your home, you know, I don't know exactly what the sign said, obviously, but it was like, I think it was something like all Kashmiri Pandits have to be out, like leave by this time, otherwise it's gonna not be good for you. You know,
the more I'm exposed to this story, the more frustrated I get that it wasn't already told. That because like here, if you live in the States, you've been exposed to at least 24 stories about what the Jews went through, you know, during
World War II,
the Holocaust and all that stuff. Like you're very, very well aware of what they went through. You can't go a year without one of those stories coming out in the cinemas here, right? It's always there. I feel like there's a lot of these stories that need to be told. Like a few years ago, we did a reaction to a trailer relating to the Armenian Holocaust.
Yeah.
And so it's like, finally, You know, I think that was with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of these stories that have gone largely untold, I think that need to be told, you know, that people should be aware of, including this. There was the Japanese when they were going to different parts of Asia during World War II, including the Philippines, and they took over the Philippines for a little bit until the Americans took over. They had encounters with Thailand as well. In China, my God, like the level of damage they did over there. There's lots of stories like this that I feel like need to be told, and so I'm really, really glad this is coming out. Not to make this, you know, for talking about all that other stuff, but it's just reminding me like there are so many untold stories that are out there, you know?
Well, yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's a reminder of how awful humans can be to other humans in the name of whatever. Like, I don't really know that much about this conflict to really speak very confidently about it. Regardless, it's just we always seem to be awful to each other, and I hope that by watching stories like this where we're like, wow, did we as humans, did we really do that to one another, so that we can kind of look at it and learn from it and be like, let's try not to do that anymore. Let's find another way to coexist peacefully. You know what I mean?
I don't think we learn, you know? I think the amount of potential learning that we can do from each of these major events is 1 to 10% at best. And that's on the positive side. Because I think we largely forget these things because it seems like humanity has the memory of a fly sometimes, where it's like, you don't remember how we went through this like not that long ago, and how we're hurting ourselves by not taking care of this X, Y, and Z. Like, really? You'd hope that we'd learn, and these stories ideally help you to be aware and not make similar mistakes. And I really do genuinely hope that that's what's happening, and it moves that margin up from 10% to something a little bit higher. But this is where the cynic in me kicks in. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know, man. Humanity's got a long history of being bad to one another.
I mean, I feel like this trailer definitely showed a lot more of the story, and it's kind of a shame that we didn't have subtitles to it, because there was way more dialogue, like new dialogue, that we just weren't aware of exactly what they were talking about. But I still think that you get a sense of the imminent danger, the sadness, the fear, the frustration that the characters are going through, whereas I felt like maybe the first trailer was more of like a broad strokes.
Well, you see just how like related to this event, like almost directly, that the male character, at least without having any of the dialogue, I'm assuming he was at least confronted and told, this is what your options are. This is what you have to do, or this is what you can do. This is how you can help. You see what she's going through, where she's just isolated. He had to go deal with these talks or whatever, and all the stuff is going down. She's by herself, and it's like really scary. You know what I mean? It's like, as soon as you're as soon as you're in the danger zone of a situation like this, that's huge, that is on some sort of epic, unprecedented scale, the first thing you want is someone else to turn to like help you.
Yeah, to be like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had nobody in a couple of these scenes, and that's really frightening. Like, where was he? And I mean, obviously the movie's gonna let you know.
Yeah, and they get back together again, obviously, because you see them in the refugee camp together.
Right.
So there is a moment where they lose each other, but then they come back together. I didn't know what they were saying, but I was actually feeling kind of emotional towards the end, because I was probably projecting, but I had this sense that maybe after all this, like, they were coming home, or they were knocking on the door
That's
of
what
their
the phone call
house.
was to me, is that he's like, I'm coming home. I thought that's what that phone call was. Even, I mean, obviously we had no subtitles, so it's hard to know, but based on like the position it was in the trailer and the feeling he had in his voice, I'm like, maybe it meant he was coming home. But but the meetings that he's having is what I'm thinking about more than anything, which is, what were they offering him? What were they telling him that he could do or should do that he refused to do in order to protect his wife?
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
know, it's sort of weird. Like, this is a strange example to bring up, but I remember hearing about Saddam Hussein, and what he would do is he would hire soldiers to sneak up on other soldiers and put a gun to their head and say, leave Saddam Hussein and join the rebellion. And if they said okay, they would shoot him. And if they said, go ahead and shoot me, that means they were loyal to Saddam Hussein, and they would get to live.
Okay.
Which is just like the most messed up possible thing you could do to your soldiers, but it was
super smart and diabolical, though.
it was a test of their loyalty. And
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that kind of messed up manipulation is what I'm seeing here, is that as being pushed onto this dude. I don't know, anything's possible without subtitles. That's the fun of that. Anyway, we need subtitles.
Yeah, we do. Sorry about that, guys.
Which we'll have when we go watch the movie.
Yeah.
So we have some Shikara Diaries videos. I reacted to 2 of them with Johnny Rome yesterday, and later on, after this video recording, ACHARA and I are gonna react to the 3rd one that came out called Now and Then. So keep a lookout for that. It'll be all 3 in one video. Thanks to you guys so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed some of this weird discussion of us trying to like interpret this trailer. And check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media and her YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon so you get notified every time we drop another video. Thanks so much for hanging out. Love y'all. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.